Hi, Mrs. Parmalee. Hi, ma'am, I have a question for you. So, I have a friend of mine going through a situation, and I need to know if I need to know.
May I ask who this is?
Yeah, my name is Charles. Last name is Stark, Starke.
Okay. Are you an attorney? Are you a victim?
I'm not an attorney, but I'm asking you a direct question, ma'am. Please, if you help me, let me finish, please.
Are you a defendant? Do you have a pending case?
Why would a defendant call the district attorney's office? That's illegal. Okay, so would you let me finish my sentence, please? Per your fiduciary duty as a public servant, let me finish my sentence. Okay, so if a person is a victim of a crime, okay, and I need to know, why would that person's name be on the complaint form? Just says the state of Texas versus this other person, but the person who's the victim's name's not on that complaint form. I need to know why.
Let me put you on a brief hold, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Stark.
Mm-hmm. And real fast, let me ask you another question. Even if I was a defendant, would it be illegal for me to call you?
If you had representation, I can't speak to you, but I'm going to transfer you to my chief in this court, and she'll be able to answer your questions for you, okay?
But I'm asking you directly, ma'am. I'm asking you a direct question. I need you to answer that, please. And if you don't, ma'am, you're aware of McGinley versus U.S. When a public servant doesn't answer a question to the public, that public servant is guilty of fraud, okay? So you know that, and I'm telling you that. So I'm asking you a direct question.
Sir, I'm going to transfer you to my supervisor, okay?
So you're refusing to answer my question, Steph, whatever your name is?
Yes, I'm going to transfer you to my supervisor.
Are you refusing to answer my question?
Sir, my name is Eleanor Pomeroy. I'm Miss Parmalee's chief. I'm her supervisor. I'm actually here, and I've been listening in on the call.
Yes,
I think, sir, we're trying to understand your question so that we can provide you with the answer that you're looking for.
Understood.
So can you help me understand your question a little bit?
Yes, ma'am. I'll articulate it to you very well. So
Thank you
a friend of mine got beat up by her husband, okay? And so then she in turn went and told you guys, okay? And she told you guys, what you did was, as the state, you took over her complaint, okay? And then you made a deal with her husband, some BS plea bargain, okay? And left her completely out of the loop, which is 100% a violation of due process and equal protection law.
Hang on. Can I ask how you're related to this case?
It's not relevant.
It is in fact relevant to whether or not I can have communication with you, sir.
Oh, okay. So who am I talking with?
You're speaking with Eleanor Palmer. I'm an assistant district attorney with Dallas County.
Mrs. Palmer, I'm talking about, who am I speaking about? What victim am I speaking about? Did I name a victim?
I'm not certain. I would need to know a case.
Okay, so if I didn't name a victim, Mrs. Palmer, then you can't tell me any interference. I'm talking with the defense or anything like that. Please, don't insult my intelligence.
Sir, let's both take a breath. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, and in order for me to give you accurate information as to what happened with a particular case, I first need to know what that case is and the case number, so I can determine what happened. Because right now I don't know anything about the case.
Are you telling me that under the color of law, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Are you telling me that under the color of law?
I'm not certain exactly what that relates to.
Understood. So you're a member of the bar, and you sworn to uphold the Constitution, right? So, and also you have a fiduciary duty of being a public servant to answer to the public, which is me. So I'm asking you a direct question, okay, ma'am?
Yes, and I'm trying to let you know I don't understand your question, and I would like to look the case up so I can give you accurate information.
So, as I was saying, what you're trying to do is identify information, ma'am. Please don't insult my intelligence. Okay,
I'm not, sir.
Okay, and so I'm gonna give you a scenario. My friend got her ass kicked by her husband. Okay, and she went to you guys like an idiot and complained about it, and you act like you cared about her case, but in fact you didn't. Because you guys, what you went and did, you would have cut a plea bargain with her husband. Okay, and now her husband gets a little BS 6 months charge. Okay, when he assaulted her. And what you did was, which was illegal, is you left her out of the whole loop. Because you said the state of Texas.
I would have to look at the case to know whether or not we left her out, sir. I don't know. If you could give me the case number, I'd be happy to give you accurate information as to what happened.
Okay, since so we're talking about a specific case. Let's say if you have a case against a person, let's say you have a case against, let's say, the state of Texas, and you're the district attorney's office, the state of Texas versus John Doe, okay? And then state of Texas versus John Doe, you have him there for a traffic ticket, or you have him there for something without a victim, okay? But yet you're going to threaten him with jail time or any kind of punishment, okay? So how is that legal? I don't understand. See, what I'm upset about is you're supposed to be there to protect this lady, and you did not do it. Instead, you wouldn't cut a deal with her husband, and now he's back out harassing her again.
Sir.
So, ma'am, let me just ask you.
A couple things. One, I can't answer these hypothetical questions. Two, if you can give me a case number, I can give you the accurate information as to what happened on this very particular case that you're calling about, so that you and I can be on the same page, and I can give you that information. But when I can't answer these questions unless I can give you that accurate information, which I can't do unless you can give me a little bit more information about either who the defendant is or what the case number is. Okay?
Okay, so you can't. So you don't teach classes or anything like that. You don't ever answer hypothetical situations ever.
I don't provide legal answers to individuals. I don't provide legal representation to individuals, and I don't provide.
Oh, whoa. Okay, so you do not provide legal representation to individuals.
I represent the state of Texas as a whole and the citizens as a whole. I do not represent one particular individual. Okay, so if the individual comes to you with a complaint of a crime, right? So how is that person being represented by you? If only your name's on there, the state of Texas. We represent the state of Texas. Criminal cases are the state of Texas versus a particular individual known as the defendant. So it is a crime against society, right? Right. And who's the victim? What's the proof of injury and fact on that? How can the state show an injury? It would depend on the facts of the case. It can vary per case. Okay, so the state, you're telling me, ma'am, that the state can show an injury, proof of injury. In fact, the state can, because the state's the one that's charged, is the one who's assessing these charges, right? Because you don't have the individual's name on there. Okay, so the state can be an injury party. I'm sorry. So a defendant has the right to look the state in the eye, and look them in the eye, and face their accuser, or the state can show an injury, right? Possess the injury to the person, damage the property, or a felony present police officer. You tell me how the state can be that victim, and how can the DA be the witness and the complainant, or the prosecutor, and the witness? Sir, if you'd let me speak, I'd be happy to answer your question. Please do. I'm not entirely sure exactly what your question is, but I never once said that the DA's office was a witness. Again, if you can give me a case number, I can give you accurate information as to what happened in a particular case. But without that, I cannot give you that information because I would need to pull the case up. And right now, I don't have enough information to pull that particular case up. Okay. So if I gave you a generic case, ma'am. If I give you a generic case number, you would come back with saying, well, you're not related to that case. Sir, I cannot answer generic questions. I can give you specific information about a specific case, but I can't sit here and answer generic questions. I think you're kind of going around in circles right now, and it's not really going anywhere. I'm trying to give you information, so if you can either give me the case number. Are you giving me some? Are you trying to give me a directive? Are you trying to direct me on something, ma'am? Are you trying to give me some kind of legal directive? Because you cannot do that. I'm not. Okay? Sir, I think at this time, I'm going to have to end this call. I really appreciate your time. That would be a good idea. That would be a good idea.
I'm just a black man with cameras.